Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Transport Fever 2. Coming at you with more action from our Dedication Island series. In our last episode, we spent a lot of time setting up the infrastructure for our very first manufacturing operation, and now that we are back for another episode, we have the money to put all the vehicles on the lines and start to produce our very first manufactured good. In this case, it is tools. So, as you guys know, we've decided to go ahead and start Shepland with the manufacturing of the tools. So you can see in here we've got the first manufacturing location here, and the planks that are required for that are going to be done in Joshland. So we've got just a little bit of work going on here where there's going to be logs that come down in. The logs will be turned into planks and brought to the train. The train will transfer those products to the factories in Shepland. And then Shepland will ship the goods, in this case the tools, to Rangerton along that train line. And also we have very close by Curryburg. Isn't too far away. So maybe we can set up. It's a bit of a long ways. I don't know if we have the time to set up another rail, but maybe we can get some tools set up on a road, maybe? I don't know. But that's something that we can think about perhaps. But we do have a lot of work to get to, so let's jump right in. By the way, if you haven't already, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel to have all the exposure and increase those. But we're pushing for 1,000 subscribers on the channel. I'd love to hit that mark and then just keep on soaring past it. So I'd really appreciate it if you'll go ahead and hit that button and give us that support. And also, don't forget, hit the like button. Makes a big difference to get the exposure on YouTube and have our videos suggested and more likely to be seen by new eyeballs. So thank you very much for the support. Now let's jump right in. So we have we had a couple years go by here since our last episode. We do have the ability to borrow up to another $1.5 million, and we've got somewhere close to $3 million here. It's going to cost probably about $4 million just for a couple of trains to get this going. So we actually have 3 available engines now. We just unlocked this Russian class G5, and I've been deciding between these. It doesn't give us any extra top speed, but it costs an extra couple $100,000 plus another like $30,000 a year. So I'm trying to decide if it's worth it. It does have more power, but with the speed only going to 50 kilometers an hour, given the cargo wagons that we're using, having a maximum speed of 50 kilometers an hour, I'm wondering if it's really worth all that extra money, and I feel like it's not. So I think we're going to go with the Russian class T Type 1. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase one of those. Plus, I'm also going to just get the game simulating a little bit here, just so that we're consistently bringing in money as we're doing all this. And then we need to, on the first train, we need to send the planks out. So we need to use these guys here to bring up the planks. So it's the state cars. And then we have to decide how many we want. So 8 cars gets us up to speed in just under 100 seconds, and it gives us the capacity of 56. Now obviously we'll get up to speed faster if we have less carts, but we're going to be shipping a lot less as well, and I feel like I don't want to skimp out too much. For 2.1 million we can get this, and then maybe the tools will go with a little bit more frequent delivery, because if we were to get rid of these, we also need on the way back we need the tools to. Now it's not the same car; it's going to be completely separate trains because there's no double dipping on these, unfortunately. We're going to be sending tools, which means boxcar, and if we were to buy the box cars at 8, it would be another 2. So that'd be $4.2 million. That would be basically all of our money if we were to go with 8 and 8. It's pretty pricey. But what else do we need in addition to the trains, I guess, is we're going to need probably close to $500,000 just to get 20 trucks bringing in the wood. We would need about $500,000, I believe. because the carriage is here bringing in 4 capacity of just 4. Yeah, it'd be like $480,000, give or take, to get 20 on that line. So, you know what? I think you got to take a little bit smaller steps. I think we're going to just take a little bit smaller steps. We're going to go with this, but I think we're just going to trim down on the amount of cargo we're shipping. I'm going to go with 6 on each of these for now. It'll save us about 800 and something thousand. It'll allow us to make sure we have the trucks on the line to keep it going from the beginning. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and purchase this. And that's going to go on the planks to the tools factory. And we're also going to go ahead and purchase that again. Whoops. Oh, it's kept that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and add on cargo. And in this case, it's going to be the box cars for the tools. And we'll add 6 to there. Like that. Not enough money. Oh, yeah, we have to borrow the money. Burp, burp, burp. Go like this. Let's go ahead and just borrow the rest of the money. And buy vehicles. Now I have to do that all over again. Purchase, cargo, box car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. And that will be on the tools to Rangerton line. So that's going to be the actual final delivery of the product to the city. And then we're going to need a bunch of... It probably actually would have made more sense to probably buy these first. Let's go ahead and get 10 of these on the logs to sawmill. And then I'll probably go ahead and buy like 10 more in a minute. I also want to make sure we have one vehicle just so that we start having getting the momentum of them saying, yes, there's demand in Rangerton. We'll go ahead and put one of these on the final delivery of tools to Rangerton. So he'll run that line right here. Oops, sorry. There won't be any tools there for a little bit, but at least the game will know, hey, all these guys want tools out here, so let's get that going. Next, we have to get... let's go ahead and put... oh, no, sorry, that's the wrong one. I don't know why I did that. Let's go ahead and sell that. Came off. Oh, because I'm not here. Okay, there we go. Let's go with that. That's fine. 1, 2. I'm going to put a couple of more of these guys on the delivery of the planks to the train right there. So that way we have guys that are actually moving from the planks that are coming in here and bringing them over here to get dropped off for the train, so the train can actually bring them in. We'll probably need at least like 10 of those or so, but just a couple to get it moving. And I'm also going to go ahead and, now that these guys, what I like to do is try to get them spaced out. Like, these are going to space themselves out as they get to the location here. These are already filled up. But the rate at which we can pick them up, it'll easily get refilled. So these guys will get spread out quite easily, obviously, as they pick it up. But now that those guys are at that end, we'll put in more guys that'll be more like this end. So I'm going to go ahead and buy 10 more of these. Oops, one too many. And these 10 are all going to go on logs to the sawmill as well. So now, by the time these guys get up here, pick it up, and start coming back, this group will be heading up, and then they'll be a little bit more spread out. And it should make it so that we can always have this filled with logs. There'll be a little bit of break between this section and this section for it to keep going, and then also there'll be a more consistent delivery to the factory. So this is the point at which you hold your breath and hope you set things up really well, because you spent all that money in infrastructure and all that time on setting everything up the way you want it. Now we have the trains out there. They're eating up cash without having anything to deliver. This guy's like, hey, I'm happy to deliver planks for you. You just give them to me. And this guy's over here like, hey, I'll take the tools to Rangerton if you want to give them to me. And in the meantime, sucking up the cash flow. One good thing about this, though, is because we've done a good job of creating some stability with our transportation, our step one of getting people on the move, if you will. We have lots of really good lines here. You can see they're making anywhere from 50 to about 100,000 of just putting people on express lines to other cities. And we have the Dogetopia Pax line, which is making pretty good money as well. And we have the shuttle lines to the trains that are making us a little bit of money, to the ferry a little bit. The ferry line itself is a little bit up and down. Right now it's a little bit down, but it tends to make a little bit of money every year, not a lot. Depends on the cycle, but we're keeping it about half full, which makes us a little bit of money. Right now, the biggest concern is obviously that we've bought a couple trains that are costing us a lot of money without actually getting anything on them. And then, of course, there's the other lines set up as well to start moving product that has not yet come to fruition. So we do have these guys, like I said, these guys are starting to get spread out. And just as the last one leaves, this next one is, there's going to be a little bit of a gap, but they're coming along. And we're just about ready to get the first pieces of wood, the logs, if you will, to the factory where we will be manufacturing the planks, and then the planks will get picked up here and sent over here. And I think it might just be time. We have 2 on that. I think it might be time. I'm going to get like maybe 2 more of these. And let's put those on the planks to train line. And like I said, I was just saying, like, it's good that you have like that stability, that if you start off with the stability of setting up some consistent cash flow with PAX lines, or not PAX lines, but express lines just between cities on the roads, and then maybe one nice easy train PAX line, that starts to make you money. And then of course you set up more of these trains PAX lines between cities, you're going to make another $250,000 a year on each of those as well. So getting more of those is obviously a good step, but having those consistent incomes can allow you to eat up this a little bit. So we're not making a ton of money right now, but we're not losing too much as well. And then once these start to make actual deliveries for us, that'll be when things pick up. So you can see here planks are getting dropped off as they get made. So we're going to want more of these and just keep buying. I don't know if I have any money. I do not. So this is where you get a little bit nervous, because you got to hope you had it set up properly to make enough money on other things so that you can continue to add to lines as they need more stuff. So in here we have planks. We need those planks to get delivered to the station so that our train, which comes in here, will be able to pick them up. So one thing that I could do, because it's not actually successfully taken any planks yet, is we could wait on the plank delivery just a little bit. How much we made here? Not a lot. We could wait on the plank delivery so what we could do is just stop this train just before it lands and just wait for it to be able to pick up a load, as opposed to running all the way back with maybe a couple of planks, and not necessarily wait for it to be full. And what a also could do, and some people like to do this, is to set up the actual line to wait until it's full. And that might actually, with one train on it, I don't do it that often. I don't micromanage it that way that often. But you know what I could do is I could potentially manage that line like that. So when it gets to Joshland Holt, let's go ahead and tell it to wait until At least partially full. I don't really play around with this that much, so let's go ahead and experiment just a little bit. We're going to unpause him and let him come in. And what he will do is he will sit there. Now this guy's going to have to sit there and wait as well because we're going to be in his way. But what he'll do is he'll wait. I guess that means until any one compartment's full, I suppose, because that's now he's taking off with just 12. I could have told him to wait until he's completely full, but I think we'll be fine. So the big key now is we need to just bring in a little bit of cash from some of our consistent lines. Because we're paying so much money here, it's really hurting us. And what we really need to do is, and this line here, this actually connects. So when that drops off, the planks will immediately drop off, and then when they're done, they'll immediately go back to be picked up. So that will be perfectly fine there. So what can happen now is, actually, we can set this guy on... we can manage that line to be when it gets to Shepland. Let's have it wait till it's at least partially full so that it doesn't come back with an empty, because this is going to drop off. It'll start to manufacture. By the time this guy lands, there will be some delivery, so we can pick up some to send back. And as you can see, we got pretty full line going here. The production's up pretty good. One thing I like to take a look at is the rates on lines. Okay, so you have these two lines, and you look at this, and we got the rate of 114. So 114 logs are making it to the sawmill in a given period, and that means 114. So that's, it takes 2 logs to make 1 plank. So in this case, you're looking at 57 planks that could be produced. All right. And then what you want to look next is how many can you actually deliver planks to the train. And in this case, we're at 34. So if we can get this number to 57, then essentially this rate will be fast enough to keep up with this rate. And so that's a pretty handy number to look at. 34 is pretty good. It's getting some delivered there. We definitely want more, but we also need money in order to be able to do that. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit shy on cash, and we do not have the ability to take any more loans. So what we need to do is have this line actually physically get going. We have... Is this guy going to land? Oh, he already landed. Ooh, okay. He already landed and dropped off some. So we've got some being produced. Some got dropped off here. This guy has 11. And he's going to wait, I guess, until he has more. I don't know if he will get more. I might have to just send him. Yeah, let's go ahead and... yeah, let's go ahead and turn him out. And send him back with those few. And then hopefully by the time he goes all the way to Rangerson and back, we'll have made a couple of shipments of, preferably more full shipments of planks to get things done. So again, we've got a fair amount of planks here. We're really falling behind. What I really could use is the cash flow. I need some cash flow. What I'm thinking about doing, I'll be honest with you, is selling a boat. I'm seriously considering selling a boat right now, because that line, unfortunately, the ferry line didn't work out the way I was hoping it would. And what that ends up doing is it doesn't make us any money, and it's all this capital invested in something that's not making us money. So we really need, I guess, more cities that are actually capable of sending more people back and forth, I suppose. because we've given them people options to go other places, then we've kind of split up the people between the two options, and we're not keeping these full enough. If I were to sell this bad boy, I would have some cash. No, I wouldn't. That only was worth 163,000 because it was so old. But at least this one boat now, where frequency is going to be down, but at least that would be one boat, less maintenance, and we'll be starting to make actual money. Alright, so this guy's going to deliver 11 whole tools to Rangerton shortly. I think what I'm going to do as well is this guy's coming in here. And when he drops this off, I'm actually going to change his line to planks to strain. And he's going to come in here. I'm just going to get a few more, just because the balance isn't quite right yet. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy as well. He's coming in here. He's going to drop those off. And as soon as he does, I'm going to switch him off to planks to trains as well. And then he'll start grabbing. Because what we really need to do is start to get this number much higher by the time the train gets back. Because right now, he's coming in here with just 8 planks. And that's just not enough money. Made us a little bit. In fact, I'm going to pause it real quick. Before we lose that money, I'm going to go ahead and purchase a couple more of these. And in fact, I'm going to get 3. I'm going to put all 3 of them on the planks to train. And then turn it back on. And that way, we'll be able to get these planks over here faster. So we can take a look at our rates again. Now, planks to train are now going to be 39. Okay. Thought that would have gone up more. Maybe that'll get adjusted once those other guys start to pick stuff up. Because they said, you know, we could produce about 50 planks with the number of trains now. We've taken a few of the a number of the carriages off. So taking a look at your numbers, we can make 50 planks, give or take, and we can ship about 39. So the number's getting a little bit more balanced. And if we can get, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and tell this guy. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and tell this guy when he gets to Shepland that he has to wait till he's full. And then a full load being dropped off is going to make a big difference. Now, what I could do is when he gets close to full or something like that, I could go ahead and make the adjustment. This guy, for some reason, is just standing there. Keep on moving. What are you waiting for? Please keep going. So, up to 12 here. What's happening exactly? Like, I see more and more of this glitchy stuff happening. All the time with this game. They came out with an update today, and they've apparently fixed some problems, but it's so frustrating. Like people just aren't moving. And I could have swore I just told that guy to stay till he's full, but he didn't. I'll have to check that. Is that guy gonna move on his own or no? Apparently not. Is this guy gonna move on his own? Apparently not. Would somebody please? I don't understand. So we have 20 here. We're going to make a pretty good size delivery here. I think. Where's the train? There it is. So he's got 20. That's not too shabby. We'll be able to go... It's a 1-for-1, so we would have a lot more tools. There's 8 already waiting. And so that would be somewhere in the vicinity of the mid-20s before this guy gets there. So he'll make a much more substantial shipment. As you can see in here, a whopping 4 have been delivered. Let's look at our rates. Still 103. Because sometimes these get adjusted as the lines get moving a bit more consistently. And again, I don't know if I'm going to have to reset this line or what, but it's just... This is frustrating. What I'm going to do... I'm going to pause it for a second. This is... It's tilting when games don't work right. You know, especially something this simple. It can be really frustrating. So new line. And we're going to go from here to here. And we're going to call this glitch for now. And we'll change it to what it's supposed to be called later. And we're going to keep it that ugly color just to remind us how annoying this is. And what we need to do is make sure that glitch is the same place. Absolutely. And there. Okay, so we're going to manage line. And we're going to say in Upper Joshland, you will, this is part of the update today, is how full you want them to get. So you are going to load up planks. And in Joshland Halt, you are going to unload those planks. Pretty simple. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I think you can go like this. I think you can go with this, manage vehicles, and we have all these vehicles. And what we can actually do is send vehicles to depot. Like that. And now they no longer exist on this line. Okay? Then we can go and click on said depot. And even though they haven't actually gotten to the depot yet, those now exist in the depot. So you take these 9 vehicles and you want to take these 9 vehicles and set their line to glitch. Now they're all on the glitch line, which is for hopefully the line that isn't glitched. So we'll turn this back on, and hopefully these guys will work properly. Now, I think what that did do is get rid of the... It actually hurt us because it got rid of the planks that any of these guys were carrying. They no longer are carrying the planks, and unfortunately most of them look like they're in position to actually have planks on them. What I could have done, which actually probably would have been smarter, is wait for them to drop off and then individually switch them to the new line instead of sending them. But I guess it was just... At that point, I was just tilted enough that I just wanted it to work. So this guy is down here, and again, oh, you know what I think I did? I don't know. Did I do that wrong? Manage the line in Shep. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I needed this one to be like that. Like that. When it gets to Joshland, it goes full. So this guy should leave now. And this guy will come in and pick up. And there are 28. That's actually, what's a full load in here? 42. Okay. And this guy does, is that pretty much everything that we've got? We have nothing stored. So yeah, we need to get those. But that's a nice load. That'd be a nice little payment for sure. So we should be kind of sorted out now. These guys are heading back to pick up. This guy's got, everybody seems to be on the move once they pick stuff up. Pick up, go, pick up, go. I think part of the reason why sometimes they stay is that there's some sort of a buffer that they want to have. It's their way of spacing themselves out, maybe? They're waiting for this next guy to get to a certain point, and then they'll go. And then, I guess if they get to the proper spacing down the road, then they won't have to wait anymore. Like, this guy should go when this guy gets to maybe here-ish. Gets to here, then he goes, yeah. I think that's part of what they're doing, but I don't know why they were getting stuck and not moving at all. The line was just glitched. So he's got 32. He's going to be able to pick up here minimum. And we have more guys coming here. 4 more there, 4 more there. So we're starting to actually make some money. I don't think we're making enough. So these numbers, we're not like getting killed here anymore. We have made some money, especially on the Planks to Tools Factory line. Isn't doing too bad for us. And we actually have some, we're actually making over 115,000 on the logs to sawmill. And we probably need to double that too. As we have more, we're going to get this moving. We're going to have to get more going because we're going to want to set up the line potentially to go to Curryburg. Because at this moment, the demand for tools is 87. Which means we need to be able to produce 87 planks from 174 logs. So we need our, at the very least, we need our rate to be on the logs to sawmill around 180-ish in order to produce somewhere in the vicinity of 90 planks to produce, come down here and produce somewhere in the vicinity of 90 tools so they can deliver to Rangerton. So I feel like that's kind of our goal to get to by the end of this stream, is to just quickly come, oh shoot, we had a big expense come through and now we've lost money. This guy has taken off with a full load, 42. When that lands, that'll be lots of money. So let's go ahead and buy some more of these. Let's get a couple more. That's so frustrating when the expenses come in big chunks and then you go from having a bunch of money to not having any. I'm going to just crank the speed up a little bit faster. And then that way, this guy's going to make us a bunch of money when he gets there with 28 tools. This guy is going to land in a moment with 42 planks, and that should be a pretty good chunk of change. Although we've just taken expenses like crazy and now we've dropped $250,000. This is one of the things that you have to take, it takes patience early on in the game. Is, there we go, nice, 430,000 with a full load. So what we can do now is we can come in here and let's buy 5 more to put on the logs to sawmill. And let's go in, let's check on, we're currently still calling it the glitch. The rate is now 93 on that line. So we actually have right around enough to get to ship about somewhere in that vicinity, that magical number of right around 90. Like we said over here in Rangerton, the demand is actually up to 90. The demand is going to keep going up as the city grows and you meet more of the demand of the tools. So really, the number we could probably target is more like 100, to be honest with you. Now, the next train coming in here is going to drop off 28. I'm kind of curious. This is quite the long trip he makes. I would imagine this is going to be a nice chunk of change to drop off 28 tools in here. And of course, hopefully by the next time when he picks up a load, it'll actually be a full load because we just sent a full load of planks to the tools factory. So when this guy lands here, ding, $610,000. Holy cow, we're making money now, ladies and gentlemen. So again, let's just take a quick look. We like our rate here, not too bad. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Let's go ahead and make it 2 more of these guys on the, what we call the glitch line for now. And then let's take a look at our logs to sawmill line. We're at 133. We need that number to be around 200 in order to make 100 planks. And of course the rate, we can make up to 400 here. So we can, even if we only deliver half this, we're still keeping up. So these guys are coming in here and they're filling up and going. So I'm going to say we can throw at least another 5 more on there. Like that. And again, it's just kind of a balance thing. You start thinking, okay, how many do we have? How much is that doing? What do we need to get to? How much more do we need to get that? Logs to sawmill. So on that line, right now, logs to sawmill, we currently have, we have to actually come in here to get that number. Logs to sawmill is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 28. We have 28. And the rate on that line is 161. So we need it to go up by another 25% in order to get to 200. And we have 28. So we need to add 25% of 28 to probably get us right around there. So that would be around 7 more in order to get us to about 200. So let's go ahead and buy 7 more. And see where that gets us to. 7. And that's going to be logs to sawmill. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. As you can see here, this guy is coming in and he has a full load ready to go. So before long, we will be able to add on, once we have the money, another train on this in order to keep it going. Because after you've got the logs and the planks in here, you have to have that rate ready to go, right? You got those 2 rates that are you're liking them around. Yep. So we added the 7 more. It got us to right around that 200 mark we were looking for. So we have those rates good, but now we need the rate of this line going, right? We need this line to actually be able to deliver all 100. And right now it's at 59. So a second train would get us over, and you know, it'd be a little bit not optimal. The other thing we could do is make this one train about 60% longer, so we could just go from 6, we can make it 10. So 6 is delivering 59, so 10 would deliver us around the 100 that we need, and that train may be powerful enough, so we could play around with the idea of just adding 4 to that. And then of course we need to make sure we take a look at the rate of the tools to Rangerton. That's a much longer line. It can only deliver 3, so we definitely need probably to make the line not only longer, or the train longer, but also add in. So maybe make those 8 and then double it to make sure we're delivering all the tools. And we are making money really, really fast now, of course. Oh, Rory found a friend outside. We are making the lines make a lot of money. The monies are going to be very inconsistent on the long line because it's one train making a long delivery. As soon as it lands, it makes 600,000, but then it costs 300,000 or 400,000 in maintenance to come back. Then it goes and makes 600,000 again. So making lots of money delivering the planks. We make that train longer, it's going to make even more. Have 2 trains consistently delivering, that'll make that number better. But overall, the numbers are starting to look really good. Again, over 100,000 we're making on those sawmills, the logs to sawmill run, which is fantastic as well. So there you go. We are delivering tools. You can see like the tools. This is another full load ready to go as soon as that guy comes back. I'm not even sure where he is. That's that. Where is he? He's right here. So he's actually about to deliver a full load right here, I think. Yep, full load. $915,000. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby. So he will head back, and again, already another full load waiting. So we've got this line up and running. We've balanced out our rates. The next step is going to be to spend this money we're making on optimizing the train lines so that the rates equal there. And the line's going to be ready to go. We need a little bit more money. I probably need maybe 3 million more. Well, at least 2 million more to make those trains the way we need them. This is another thing I would actually suggest to you guys out there, especially if you're playing on hard mode. We're actually playing on regular. But what I suggest to you guys is, if you've got money and you're not spending it at the moment, just, a couple million like that, and let's say you've got 2 million, you need 4. So pay back the 2 and wait until you can just keep paying it back. And then once you get to the loan being paid off down to 6 million, then okay, I'll borrow the money back and use that 4 million to to do the updates you need. That way you're reducing the amount of interest you're paying while you're waiting for that money to accumulate. So again, repaying other, so you can just sit here and watch the lines go, and every time you get to 500,000, bang, repay. Once you get the buffer in the loan for the amount of money that you need to accomplish what you want, boom, borrow the money back. I suggest, by the way, let's say you need 4 million exactly. You've calculated you need 4 million. Pause, then borrow the money, then spend the money, then unpause. Because the last thing you want to do is borrow the 4 million and be like, all right, we're ready to go, and then you're still got it on play, and you just pay 250,000 in expenses, and now all of a sudden you're short of being able to buy everything you need, and it's just frustrating. So I suggest you do it that way. And oh baby, couldn't quite repay it. I always watch it here, and 500,000 repay. Anyway, I hope you guys got some good insights on how to set up and optimize a manufacturing line, watching your rates all the way through, and keep making sure. The one key thing about this is when you're setting up the rates is that you don't end up spending extra rate. Like, you don't end up spending extra money on trucks or whatever they are, picking up or dropping off stuff, but you get to a point where you're not running full loads because it's not, everything's not balanced. So when you balance it out on the rates, you're going to always have people picking up and dropping off full loads and making everything efficient. So you're minimizing the amount of upkeep expenses you're doing while maximizing your delivery income. So there we go. That's it. We have got ourselves tools in Rangerton. Before we say goodbye one final time, Rangerton, they're up to 27 delivered out of 95, which is a nice number. And actually, what actually is my own fault is I just realized we need to add, this is the last thing we needed to do, and I apologize. I'm going to let the key keep running. I need to purchase, let's go like that for now, delivery of tools to Rangerton. This is one thing I forgot to do, is we had one truck going back and forth in order to make sure that the game was recognizing the full amount of demand needed. But unfortunately, as you can see here, when you go in here to cargo, the tools, now a lot of the tools would naturally deliver, but there's a fair amount over here that wouldn't have. And so what you can do is, if you look at this, the train itself would have delivered to here, but all this stuff over here wouldn't get naturally delivered. So by bringing it over here, all this stuff that will get filled now. And then, of course, as the city grows, there'll be more commercial growing this way, and it'll all continue to get delivered to this area out here. Like that. Because we put it here and allowed for growth. So a lot of these guys, like I said, some of it's being delivered automatically off the train, but this stuff here needs to get brought here so these guys down here can get their tools. So now that I've added 3 more trucks, you can come in here, you can check your rate. So the rate is 43. And that's actually pretty close to what you need, because again, the demand is going to be right around 100, and somewhere in the vicinity of half is going to naturally deliver right off the train, and then the other half needs to be delivered. So you're probably okay with the number being in somewhere in the vicinity of 40. Maybe we need to get a 5th truck on there, but that rate's probably pretty close, somewhere in the vicinity of 50 to get these guys delivered to theirs. So there we go. It's a good. I almost didn't check, and you guys would have been in the comments section blowing me up. Hey, you don't have enough trucks delivering the tools to Rangerton. We do now. Rangerton's getting their tools. This number is going to fluctuate quite a bit because we only have one train. As you can see here, here comes the other train. We're going to be over on time a little bit. We're coming up on 45 minutes. I apologize, but let's just check this out real quick. We're going to deliver another 42, and then what you can do is we can check out this. So that number is 18, and it's about to deliver 42. It makes a whole bunch of money. So the 42 are going to get dropped off. We make, 915,000. And this number immediately starts to go up. You can see that number ticking up, 32, 33, whatever. And the reason why is because some of them automatically got delivered to the ones that are close enough. But the rest got plopped in here, and the trucks have to actually physically make the deliveries. So this number will tick up as the deliveries get made from the trucks. But the thing is right now, before we get a second train on there, that number is going to also tick down as the cycle of time goes through, because it's got to make such a long trip out and all the way back at such a slow pace for these early on trains. So it's going to be like, there's going to be stores that are going to be like, okay, I got tools, but that was a long time ago. I no longer feel like my demand's being fulfilled, so that number gets dropped. And so this number will fluctuate as this gets emptied out and as the time goes by between train deliveries. So as we get a second train, that number will be more consistently fulfilled amongst the people. So that's a little bit of oops, hit the wrong button there. That's a little bit of education on how that works. So yeah, the tools are going to get delivered. Rangerton's good to go. Next time, what I would like to do is continue to expand our PAX lines. I'd like to put in one more in the next couple episodes. I'd like to put at least one more train line in, maybe in here, to make more consistent money on passenger movement. And I'd also like to set up the delivery of tools to Currieburg. Those are my next two objectives. So we'll tune into that next time. Do not forget, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Your support really means a lot. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to leave comments if you have anything to say, and I'd be happy to get back to you. Until next time, bye-bye.